Okay, let's practice Like Crazy, number 8. This one, Aaron Minsky describes as a rock tune where it gives a chance for the cello to shine, to just let loose, go crazy with some high arpeggios, and they're quite virtuosic and some very fast passages. So let's tackle those spots first. The first one is the first page, line 5, measure, let's start at the beginning of the line, get into it. So we'll see his fingering, let's look at his fingering. So it goes, and then you go to first finger on the D string, first finger on the D string, and then thumb on the 3rd string, and then first finger on the D string, and then back on the D string, so he's written it just absolutely correctly. I think it looks like I erased just some things that were distracting, and I put in some fingerings. Oh, looks like I have one different fingering. The very top note, he used his 2nd finger. I think that was just a mistake. That very high A, it's just 3rd finger. That's probably just a publishing error. So let's practice this super slow, separate notes. Let's start on the 3rd beat. Okay, so it starts on A. Do the same thing with the bowing, a little faster. And what I notice is playing slowly really helps you memorize the shifts, the proprioception. How does my arm moving? How does it feel when it's in motion? Let's do old bow shifts. So we're going to shift early, anticipating the shifts. Ready, play. Slowly like that. It's almost harder for the bow, isn't it? Okay, a little faster. Same thing, flowing. And let's hear the slides. Initially start out of time, no metronome, but eventually you really want to try it with the metronome because that's going to really lock in the choreography, your timing of your shifts. Want to do it one time? With the metronome. And we're going to do it twice as slow as this. half tempo. Let's see. Next spot is the last line of the first page, and this is sort of a harmonic section. It goes like this, second measure. You probably noticed I had to memorize that. It's much easier if you just memorize it. Otherwise, you're flicking, doing the page turn. You're focused on, your eyes are distracting you from really listening and feeling what's going on. So as soon as you can, memorize this passage. I first always practice with less harmonic, almost no harmonic, so that you know your thumb is in the exactly right spot. So you go like this. So I do that with all the notes, just totally solid. Then you can do it halfway down, so you get a little bit of harmonic. And then when you're playing, it usually is a little lighter, but you don't really have to practice getting lighter. When it goes faster, it goes lighter. One thing you do have to, this is sort of a different fingering than normal, but is you have to lift your thumb up, otherwise you get this. Well, that too. That thing. So you have to, at the same time that you put the third finger down, you have to lift your thumb. Lift. So that helps me. Also, focusing on this note helps me play it fast. When you're playing fast, you don't have much time, so if I just focus on that note. Both up and down, if I focus on this, that position, it's sort of the center of both, but also musically. It's the backbeat, so musically it's also good. Okay, I think that's that spot. Looping. So with that spot, just do one and loop it. You can go up and down. Or start from the top. One last issue, which is, it doesn't, actually not too much of an issue, but you do have 5 notes on the down bow, 5 16th notes, and then 3 on the up bow, so you have to recover a little bit. Okay, this last hard spot is this, all of a sudden we have 30-second note triplets towards the bottom of the page, or the second page. Yeah, so that, practice your Kosman exercises, your trill exercises to get that speed. But when you do play it, it's handy to practice the left hand alone. So go. Encourage a little more active plucking, releasing, and releasing the thumb. And then I added the slur to make it flow better. So I add this bowing. Yeah. And starker, I still remember, it says crescendo, but maybe delay the crescendo. Starker would always say, if you want to play super fast, don't try to play too loud. So I do a forte piano. A little bit slower on that. I have to practice that. Obviously, you can practice rhythms, etc., etc. In the end, the tempo of this piece, it says 60 to a quarter note, 60 to 66. It's very fast, so don't feel bad if you have to slow down a little bit in that spot. And if you do want to go slower in that spot, what I do is I do a retard going into it so it makes sense. It's like a cadenza. So you go. Like that. Okay. As far as, yes, so like rock music, there's a lot of repetition. But this is your chance to feel the groove, memorize it. So the first 4 bars are all the same, except for the very last slur goes. They're exactly the same except for the very last slur. So memorize it, get in the groove, look up, practice with your looking out, probably looking out or at your band member. So that is something, if you're a classical musician, sometimes we get turned off by how much repetition there is in popular music. But that's also its greatest strength, is that it gets into you and you keep on thinking about it when you walk away. So repetition breeds that familiarity. You feel like you really know it. And so it's perfect practice. We need to practice, repeat a lot anyways. Now this passage is a little bit tricky. It goes up here to third position. We have that fourth, and then we have this third. And I have a difficult time getting that in tune every time. That's a whole step shift, pretty tricky. What I noticed what helped me a lot is not focusing on intonation totally. Sometimes we can over obsess. Think about the phrase. Really, the melody is, and then that's main tune. So if you think that, you don't think about the double stop so much. You know, dum is less important. Okay. Yeah. When like crazy is a chance for the cellist to go crazy, but I was thinking, love you like crazy. Here you go. I don't know. There's some other tune. I don't know. It's a. Let's go to babe. I don't know. You could come up with some lyrics. Let's go, babe. So anyway, you could, I don't know, maybe you could start singing along with it. Come up with your own tune. Let's try this now slowly. I have it at 48. That's it. Count in. Here we go. playing it, I came up with some lyrics. Not the right lyrics, I'm sure, but let's go, babe. Hey, I'm crazy for you. Let's go, babe. Hey, I'm crazy for you. Like that. So that, I don't know, I had that sentiment in mind, but I only came up with the words now, just for you. You could come up with your own words, obviously. And then the last part is this is a great spot to start improvising off that riff. And he shows you how you can improvise those last eight bars or 4 bars with little variations. So you can just repeat that. Let's go, babe. Hey, you come up with something each time different. So that was sort of fun. I did have a little fun with that, but I'm not ready to do that for you now. So enjoy practicing like crazy, and do practice like crazy.